So this one chick, she didn't know, and I just started going, "Ah!" And I'm like, I don't know. That was a weird night in general. And this lady, she was like, oh my God, I just peed. Homegirl actually peed. And I was like, oh no.
What's up, everybody? It is your boy, Director Slap, aka Sir Fear. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Krypt-It Konvos podcast. Today, I have a special guest. She has become a friend of mine. We do business together. She is very talented. And you guys will be seeing her later on this year in an upcoming film that me and her are putting together. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Alayna.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here.
So me and Elena have been here vibing out, man, while everything's been getting set up. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming on the Krypt-It Konvos podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to collab with you again. I think this is our third collaboration we've done thus far between Slap's Dead Time Stories, the podcast we did with Mr. Charles. Shout out to Mr. Charles. And we're coming back for Fearless. So how's your day going so far?
So far, so good. It's been a cool day. A lot of places.
What do you think about my personal life?
This may not be here when you come back tomorrow.
You know, you're the first person that said that. Everybody else is like, man, get that shit away from me, man.
That's because normies are awful.
That's right. Slap hands.
There you go.
Me and her have a lot in common. She's also Boricua in Italian. Say something in Spanish for us, Elena.
Why you gotta put me on the spot? No.
All right, so, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but maybe later on throughout the conversation, something in Spanish will come out, and you guys will hear her speak that language. Anyways, Miss Elena, let's talk about your beginning, where this all started. Where did your passion for horror come from? But before we get to all that, tell us about you. Wait, where does it start? Where are you from?
So, born and raised in Georgia in Clayton County. My parents are a very mixed breed of people. We're Italian and Puerto Rican. Very fun, very, very loud, lots of food.
Italian and Puerto Rican, that's a pretty loud combination.
Yeah, we have loud and louder. So that's where it's at. Depends on who has the most chisme. It just depends on the day. But I think the Italian crowd, it's a little, if you want to go to an Italian get-together, it's so fabulous. It happens when someone dies or if it's like somebody's 70th birthday. I don't know why 70, but that's a big one. But it's literally always somebody in the corner. You still owe me $50, you son of a bitch. How you doing? It's literally all the time. It's so great. So you
got a mixture of, let's say, Mark Anthony and James Gandolfini?
Yeah, you just described my Saturday mornings. Yes. Yeah. If you heard Mark Anthony in Grandma's house, she was cleaning.
Yeah.
She was cleaning something. Yes.
Sure,
yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, Clayton County, New York City. Where does New York come into play?
So my parents originally my mom's from Brooklyn, my dad's from the Bronx.
Okay.
So everybody was always there all the time when I was a kid. We traveled there a lot because my Aunt Jeannie still lives in Brooklyn. So we used to go there, and then we used to be in Philly with my grandma, and so everybody was always around, like Long Island.
Through those New York streets, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. New York's different, man. New York's fast paced. That's where my dad's from, actually. So shout out to New York, man. You still how do you feel about New York? How do you feel about the city now?
It's home. It's the one place in the world where you can go and your head is like normal because it's so loud there. So it drowns it out. You're just like, oh, I'm calm because like I don't have to think anymore. And then as soon as you leave, you can walk straight to the train station. You go anywhere you want to go. There's food at every corner. There's different cultures of food in every borough. So like, what's there to lose? Like it's art, it's fashion, it's fabulous.
It's fast paced, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do well in New York because I'm so laid back and I'd probably get ran over.
I don't think so. As long as you just like walk. Just if you see someone else walking, you walk.
I like
everybody's there is nice.
Drop something. I'm like, hey, ma'am, you forgot this.
They would rather you tell them, I promise. I swear to God.
Okay.
I swear.
I've heard like people like mean up there. They're like, hey, how you doing?
No, it's just like a brief, like just say, hey, like have a great day.
Bye.
Hey, bye. Like beyond that, like if you ask personal questions, it's like, why are you in my business? What do you want? Like, really?
What are you getting at?
Yeah. Like what's your end goal here? You mugging me? What's this? I don't know what this is.
All right, so sweet. So where did your passion for? Because I met Miss Alayna at the Nightmares Gate Haunted House last year. Shout out to Nightmares Gate Haunted House. Anybody in particular want to shout out?
All of my people, Craig, Ben, Jennifer, Heather, all of my people. I love y'all so much. Thank you for adopting me into your home.
So I met Miss Elena there, and it was a really cool night. It was raining. There was a lot going on, and she was so chill. She was doing her thing. She was in character. And I said, man, I've got to figure out who this female is. She's talented. She has the look of something that I want to create. And here we are now. Where did your passion for art and creating and makeup and stuff like that? Because to my understanding, that the people know that you've done the makeup yourself for a lot of the characters at this particular haunted house, correct?
All of my own characters, yeah. We it was a lot of team collaboration and stuff. We talked about kind of like, hey, where are we doing for this haunt? You know, what's the theme? What's the thematic elements? And we come up with the names for the characters, and we all kind of like, this particular new haunted house, you know, what we're in now, we all kind of had a piece in building that character. So it was really fun to do that. But yeah, I think my passion for art and stuff, I've always been a kid in a sketchbook. Like that was always my biggest thing.
That's awesome.
Always had my sketchbook everywhere. I did graffiti, all that. Like that was, I love it.
Talented.
I just love art. There's nothing about it that's boring. Like even if it's just minute and small, like just abstract things, like anything is funky. Why not? Just be different. But my mom was the weird kid too in class. So we used to watch like Jason movies together, Dark Shadows on the weekends, Goosebumps. So like she really encouraged it because she noticed that I loved it. Like
she saw your passion.
She saw it and she let me run with it.
I like that.
And my Aunt Teresa, you know, she always my grandma used to be like, why do you always have your fingernails painted? And why is always that on there? I used to actually like color my fingernails with Crayola markers, and I used to get in trouble. Like my grandma would take it off, and the next day my aunt would be like, do you want to paint your fingernails when grandma's not looking? And I'm like, yeah.
Were you painting them black?
No, I paint like everything, all of the rainbows, like stick-on tattoos.
You was on your Wednesday Addams.
No, like stick-on tattoos everywhere. Like I wanted tattoos like everywhere, like on my face if I could. Like there was no ends. Like my Barbie dolls, I shaved their heads. Like I wanted them to be weird. I would draw tattoos on my Barbies.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, strange kid. But like I remember this VHS tape. This is like the most important, but the VHS tape we had in my house was literally the making of Thriller, Michael Jackson Thriller. So it was just the start to finish of like the process it took, how they made the clothes, and
that was so cool too. So people,
oh my God,
people that haven't seen that.
Really?
Yeah, that have not seen like the behind the scenes making of Thriller.
You know, people didn't realize Michael Jackson made like films. Like he didn't make music videos. He made films.
Exactly.
They were tiny films, like little masterpieces. Like that particular one, like the amount of work it took for the casting, the mold, like how they did the balloons to blow up his face as the werewolf. I thought that was so cool. Like, did I like the part with the zombies? No, because that freaks me out. But I still watched it anyway. So I'd go behind the couch and be like, I don't know. But I loved it. And I would watch it on a loop all the time. Like it was just constant. I was like, I'm going to do that one day. I know I want to do that. Yeah. And I ended up doing it. Like how I knew at 3, like that's what I wanted to do. That's just, I was like, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
You know, it's something about old school zombie films. I don't know what it is. Like I watched, what's the classic zombie movie from the 70s everybody loves?
Night of the Living Dead?
Night of the Living Dead is absolutely amazing.
They're coming to get you, Bob.
Yeah, the one where they're screaming like brains.
I think it's Night of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched that one the other day, and I was like, man, this is so fascinating. But one of my favorite zombie films of all time is there's Return of the Living Dead.
That's a good one.
Return of the Living Dead.
That's a really good one.
The one they did, and they remade it with Tony Todd, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that film right there is probably one of the scariest zombie films to me of all time.
Zombies don't get enough love.
No, they don't.
Like they're just wild. Like
the world's ending.
Yeah.
People that's literally alive, coming to eat you. And just destroying the population of people.
What's that one show that was filmed here?
The Walking Dead.
Don't get me wrong. It was a great show. Do not get me wrong. I can't watch it.
The first 4 seasons.
I can't watch it.
Yeah.
This man had been in the hospital for how long with an IV in his arm? And that thing didn't have gangrene on it. And he just
takes it out. Yeah.
I can't do it.
You know, I tell people, you know, that was once upon a time one of my favorite shows on television. Mm-hmm. Season 2 to me was absolutely one of the best shows, one of the best seasons of The Walking Dead.
I didn't even make it through all of season 1.
Oh man, I really think just me getting to know you I think you will really enjoy season 2.
I'll probably try and pick
season
it back
1
up.
kind of like, all right, yeah, they get the CDC center and it blows up, all that stuff.
Yo, but the wife with the best friend though?
Yeah, that.
I was like, how you?
They go more in depth about that in season 2.
Like I was like, man, I hope she dies.
Yeah.
I think she does end up dying, but I was like, I kind of hope she dies now. I was just like, I'm out of it.
She been around for a bit. But I would tell you this, season 2 is absolutely amazing. I thought it was some of the best work that whole team's done.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when they kept it more zombie. Because the longer it lingered on, it's like, okay, now you're fighting.
Now it's like a soap opera at this point.
Like a soap opera. It's like all these different groups of people now coming out of nowhere.
You're like, great, I made Grey's Anatomy again.
Yeah. So it's like, man, this shit's getting weird now. But, I am a fan of the show. I respect it. Shout out to the whole team and the rec team behind that. But we're getting off track a little bit. So, Thriller, going back to Michael Jackson Thriller. Michael Jackson Thriller was an amazing piece of work that he done. Around what age did you start like kind of applying like the face paint and stuff like that?
So believe it or not, that took a little while. Like my friends were always like, oh, I want you to do my makeup for special occasions. It was the whole thing. So in high school, I used to do all that stuff. And then I think I was 19. I was going through like a really weird bout of like sad. I just had the big sad. It was just a lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of drawing on paper. I want to just like draw on my face. So I had supplies and I just started painting on my face. And I was like, you're only going to get better if you keep going. So it just started going and going and going. And then right around the time when I was really wanting to do that more often, I had my one friend in healthcare, shout out to Brooke. She was like, she found out I did makeup and she goes, you've never been to Dragon Con? I was like, no. She goes, you've never been? No, like I've never been. And I went and we did, the first day I went, we did like cell shading. We made ourselves comic book characters. So I did that. And then I was the Joker the next day. So it was just a cool thing. Matter of fact, that's where I met my husband. Nobody knows that.
Shout out to Dustin.
Yeah, shout out to Dustin. But yeah, like that's kind of where it started. And I remember, Dustin was like, hey, you do this like really well. Like, why don't you ever like keep going? Like you really should try this out and go for it. And I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of shy. And then he was like, dude, seriously, let's, try it out. And I think I found somebody. I went to the Days of the Dead convention and my friend Joe and Shelly, who I met there, they took my picture and they were like, let's do a photo shoot. I was like, all right, cool. And that's how it manifested. This photo shoot, I posted it online. And the haunt owner, Craig, he found me online and he added me. And then they posted this ad. They wanted a new makeup artist at Nightmare's Gate. And I was like, if you don't try, you won't know. They can, the worst they can do is say no. And at that point, fine, just keep going, pave your own way.
Correct.
And I went, they said yes, I started, and they gave me the proper tools and more of the learning to progress and grow further. Because when I first started, I didn't know how to use an airbrush. And that was in 2019. That was my first year at the haunted house. I had no idea how to use airbrush.
Holy cow.
So I learned in 2020, practiced a lot on myself, and I practiced like every day. Basic stuff. And then like during the summer, they'd have some of the kids come out and I would do their makeup too. And it was a lot of like clawing off your face, getting all the, everything off. But yeah, it was a whole summer of just me learning. And then I was body painting more and I just grew, and it got me so many different opportunities just being there and being able to advertise the things I do.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. So
I started working with like Underground B Films, my friend Dean. Shout out to Dean.
Shout out to Dean.
I did 2 music videos with him. And we did some other 2 movies that he made, and it was really cool to be able to be part of that. It just from the advertising of what people saw at me of conventions and me outside the haunt, and you wouldn't think stuff like that would get you anywhere, Yeah. So like, and it did. And I think my first year at the haunt too, like the first photo shoot they did, it wasn't even officially the season yet. And I came out, and I ended up on the main flyer for that season, and I was like, yo, what? I was crying so hard because I was like, that's so fucking cool. Like, I told myself I could not do this for so long. And I did, You prove yourself wrong every day by just trying. You just got to try. So I think that's just like where it started in the haunt, was just that place where it culminated and grew.
I think, I really like that, man. I think so many people live in fear in their lives. And I think so many people also are afraid of failing. I think that prevents them from wanting to pursue passions, wanting to pursue hobbies, whatever the case may be. Like, you took a chance on something, and shout out to Dustin for giving you that support. Because sometimes we all need that pick me up and that support that can really help catapult you to greatness. Because look, you started something, and then look what it's progressed you to. And it's just continuing to grow.
It's funny seeing like your old stuff though. You're like, ooh, they let me do that to them. Ooh, that's bad. That's not good. But I mean, you have to start somewhere. Everybody starts at a small point, and there's always room to grow. And I always tell people, like, If you feel like you've learned everything you need to learn in your journey of whatever you're doing, you're wrong. Absolutely. There's always somewhere and something to know, something to learn upon, something to practice. Like, you should never feel like you absolutely know everything fully to its extent. Like, be nosy, explore things, like, go try. Like, you won't know unless you go do it. And granted, we get scared sometimes, but at the same time, like, if you don't fail, like, how are you going to know?
How you going to know?
How will you know? You know? So
many people I talk to, man, they you know, when I first started doing what I'm doing in the film business, man, you know, the support was very minimal.
Yeah.
And now you look back to where I am now, and then you have people that's like, now you're starting to get those text messages. Now you're starting to get those calls.
And it's always from the people that were like, no, this is no thanks. I'm sorry. And now it's like begging, like almost begging. You're like, seriously, dude? Like, why?
Yeah, man. Hey, can I be on the show? Hey, can I be on a movie, whatever you want?
For what?
And they,
sorry, but for what?
Exactly. It's like, damn, man. I remember when I was looking for just a like or something.
Yeah.
Sure. And sometimes people find it, you know, it's weird. And I think that scares people. I think people, they don't like rejection.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. So they're scared to like really pursue something. Had a conversation with another guy. He's a really talented artist. Kind of like, not with the airbrush, but he draws really.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I want to do my own, he was telling me about, he was wanting to do his own comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude,
try it.
What's stopping you?
They sell them in criminal records and little 5 points to local authors all the time. All the time.
He's like, man, but you know, I don't want nobody like talk bad about my stuff because.
Let them.
I was like, dude, that's if they're not talking bad about
half the people on Goodreads, because I'm a huge book nerd. I read a lot. Like, there's a lot of 1-star reviews for books. I'm like, all right, well, I need to see why it's that bad. Like, I'll read it on purpose because I'm like, oh, it's bad. But sometimes it's great. Not everybody likes everything. And that's okay.
It's okay.
And I had to learn the hard way. Like this, I took a bit of a social media hiatus for a little bit because I got to the point where I was like looking at the likes, looking at how many people were doing that. Yeah. They liked it. They didn't heart it. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Like, what people think of you is really none of your business.
Exactly.
Are you proud of what you made? Did you make something that was worth your time? Did you learn something from making it? That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
So I think that's something I had to learn the hard way from my social media hiatus. I'm like, it really doesn't matter what you do. Like, people are still they're like, hey, why haven't you made this and this? I haven't seen it in a while. And I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all were paying attention. I was just stupid. I was just out here being stupid. Like, I'm.
Yeah. So tell me this. When I'm a huge fan of haunted houses, haunted attractions. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. It's my favorite time of the year when I get to go pay people to scare me.
It's that energy.
It's the energy, man.
It's the energy, man.
It's something you smell in the air. It feels different. You working in the haunted house space or whatnot, what is it like doing it? Because when I met you using full character, you didn't break. You was completely like locked in. Yeah, it was creepy. Those black lights was like hitting you just right. And I was like, this is like something in a nightmare, dude. I love it. But tell me this, what's it like when you first, like, when it's showtime, when it's like, do you do like a pre-game ritual, like something like to get pumped up? Or
so when I get there earlier than the kids. So, cause I like to do my own makeup, right? Cause I leave work, I get in full costume, like not costume, but makeup when I get there. So I'm ready. So then the kids start coming, we do all of their makeup. And then normally we do like a pre-haunt ritual where everybody goes in right before showtime. They normally do what we used to call the haka. We've changed it. It's varied over the years, but you do a lot of guttural screaming, a lot of, emotional support, but it's that one big scream before you go outside. Yeah. That, or we use the insider secret that no one knows about. We have the Joe Rogan Fujimufu smelling salts. Yeah. So if you think about it, after Friday of work, this is going to be a 22-hour day.
Yeah.
Start to finish is a 22-hour day. Yeah. I'm going to use these smelling salts. I'm going to go, whoo! I'm going to get a little Ric Flair moment. I need a little Ric Flair. You do that and you go outside, you just like, wow. But my favorite thing is to, like, you get in full costume, and I have the mouth glue that I use, the black mouth dye that I have.
Yeah.
If you wait and you go outside, so I wait till there's a whole bunch of people, and then I'll start like drooling. Yeah, I'm drooling on myself. I don't care. Say something. So you just feel it, and you're like, okay. And it takes one person. You see one person that's really scared. And then I'm kind of scared because I'm like, all right, this is either going to go really well or really bad when I walk over there. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, you have to figure out you're scared. I'm like, all right, what's the plan? So either they're going to start running or they're going to say something real stupid. But if you start drooling on yourself and you start walking towards somebody and you do like the weird stuff and you start like, if you just move your head a certain way, oh, it's fantastic.
That's freaking
It's fantastic.
That's freaking awesome.
I love it. There was one day I was chasing somebody. And they don't think I'm gonna run in that big ass wedding dress. I will literally take the whole thing and I will hold it and I'm going to haul with it. So I chased this one guy all through this parking lot, right? And then he fell. I felt so bad, but it was really awesome how he fell. No, I just helped him get up. Okay. So then I walked back and this girl goes, "You trying to get my man? Was you trying to get my man?" And I just like, I have, my gag I have with the horn. So I honked it and she got so scared. She fell too. And I was like, "Okay, bye." It's the moment. I think it's just that captures that moment. Like you were angry all day at work for something. Like somebody pissed you off. Somebody didn't do something. You had to pick up the slack. You just angry and you just get to take that outside and it's free therapy.
It's right there.
It's free therapy, man.
That's freaking wild.
Now, sometimes you get some really creepy people. Like, I don't know what it is about me being in costume. I don't know if it's just like when you get in costume, you're a lot more confident than you are regularly in general. So I don't know if it's that confidence you exude out in presence, but people will hit on you to no end. Like it's really disgusting. You get twerked on.
Even in
all the time.
Really?
All the time. Do you know how many random Instagram followers I get talking about you really did have a man in real life? Yeah, I did. I told you was going to be disappointed when you got there. Don't even try. Like they'll find you for no reason on there. They'll start talking to you and you're like, really? Yeah, all the time. All the time. It's really weird though. You're like, who hurt you? Why do you like that? That's weird.
Yeah.
Dustin gets twerked on constantly. Constantly. And the first time it happened, like in his mask, you have these two little tiny eye holes in this one that he has. Yeah. And I can only see where to look, but like this one girl, like she went full on, like she was getting it.
I was a picture or was it?
No, they were making a video. Like he was trapped.
Oh, they were making
He was stuck. Like he was stuck. He was in quicksand. He was stuck.
Did Dustin break character?
He was just standing there and he looks up at me and I'm like, I was laughing because it was funny, but I'm like, it's really not funny. Like you just invaded this man's whole personal space. So then he finally started moving. They realized they thought he was a statue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, some people just like do it just to do it. And I'm like, for what? Like, why? They do it all the time. And then I'll get picked up. They're like, can I pick you up for the picture like a bride? And I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, if you drop me, no.
Yeah.
Now, there was this one guy, he was like 6'5", and I was like, yeah, no problem. You're not going to drop me. Like, you're fine. No problem. No problem, sir. You'll have weird people. They're like, do you want you and your man to come with us? And we'll have like a thing. You wouldn't expect that to happen. There's something about the fear center of people's brains. It's a very strange. It's a fun time, but it's strange. You have some awkward interactions.
Well, I go to just like you. We go to the horror conventions, and you do see some rather odd. I love it. Like
that's prime time people watching.
But you get some
prime time people watching.
Like one guy comes up to me, he's like whispering, talking to me. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, hey man.
Was it a juggalo?
No, he was.
Sorry.
No, he was actually just like he reminded me of that guy. Who was the guy that was eating people?
With fava beans?
No, not Hannibal. The other guy was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh,
he gave me real Dahmer vibes.
Did he have the glasses too?
Yeah, he had the glasses. Ooh. He was real quiet, like real harmless looking guy. He was talking to me real soft spoken. I was like, hey man,
was he like this close?
No, he was like right in my personal space.
Thanks.
Because he heard me talking to somebody. He saw me interviewing people, and I was like, man, like what's up, man? Like he was like, what's up, man?
Ew.
I was like, hey, how you doing? He said, so you're in film? And I was like, yeah, man. I'm still like, hey, yeah, man. I go buy some app, so yeah. He's like, interesting. He's like, so how often do you come to these? And that's when I looked at Jessica. I'm telling you guys, Jessica. Looked at Jessica, I looked at my other camera guy, and I was like, hold on real quick, man.
Something just came up. Something just came up, brother.
Jessica, talk to him real quick. And I walked away.
And you left her by herself?
Well,
oh, no.
He didn't have any interest for her. He had interest for me.
Oh.
But, it's nothing against anybody or any demographic of people, but it was just real.
He walked up to you and he was like, just let your soul glow.
Yeah, he had a real soft voice like this. Hey, man, what are you doing?
I hate when people do that. It's so gross.
Man, this dude give me real Jeffrey Dahmer vibes, dude. Like, but I'm all for like being scared, but I'm not.
Ew.
I'm all for being freaked out because when I get freaked out, I start reacting, and I'm like, hey man,
it's the face. You have the face.
Yeah,
it's the face. Dustin tells me all the time he'll have to whisper to me in public because I don't know when I'm doing it. that's just my face in general. So if y'all ever meet me in public and I look real mean, I really have RBF. I'm really sorry. I'm in a great mood, I promise. He's just like, bitch, fix your face. Like, why are you doing that with your face? You are scowling at everybody. I was like, I'm sorry. It's just my face, bro.
Yeah, I'm just here vibing.
But people come up to you like that at the haunt too all the time outside. And they're like, hey, can I like get your picture? But then they'll like touch your arm.
Hey.
Ugh.
We have a selfie together.
Well, some people will like touch your face. I had one girl get really close to me, and I'm normally not one to like get really angry outside, like at people, because I get it when you're scared, but they weren't scared. They were just obnoxious.
Kind of like trolling.
But she was right here, and I finally was like, hey, you are way too close. Like, entirely too close to my face. Yeah, I was like, you are entirely too close. You do not get that close to people. Like, that's disrespectful. Like, just don't do that.
What'd she say? Were they like...
Because I said it in character, like, in the Russian. I was like, you are way too close to people.
Yeah.
You are way too close to me right now, darling. Why are you so close? Why you do these things? Do you do this in real life? Do you come up to people and go, hi, how are you doing? Why are you so close, darling? Why you do this? And then she was just like, you're right. I was disrespectful. I'm like, yes, you were very disrespectful.
Yes.
Don't do this again. Do you want this picture? Okay.
You know, you sound like the mom from the grandma from The Exorcist. Really?
I love Russian accents. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
They're so fun.
I love when you do that.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do. It's angry. Like, it's just angry. Do you want pancake? Do you want pancake? Like, that's so angry. Why?
Yeah, no. Shout out to Russia.
Shout out to Russia, man.
Russians, the angry Russians. All right. So, what's the craziest thing you've seen at a hunt? Have you ever seen somebody like faint or
I've seen somebody pee.
pee themselves?
Yeah, full on. I actually made them pee.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. It was my favorite.
That would have been, yeah.
It was. I felt bad, but like, homegirl, she was a mom. She was with her kids, and this was when we were still in the hospital. It was the last room. So my gag in that room was, because it was a really small space, there was a cage in there. So I used to
the character I saw you in.
The nurse one. No. I was a nurse. I was Nurse Ratchet. So you know did you see the shirt from up there? It had me and Dustin on. He was in a green mask, and I'm the nurse on the.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
I'll show you. That was Nurse Ratchet. So I had like clacker gloves. So I was in a cage, but I would play dead in the cage. So they thought I was like that was dead, right? Yeah. Well, they had a button in there that would go off, and it would do like an air sensor and like lights. So then it would flash.
Oh, so
then I would like clang on it. And I'd be like, feed me. And you start banging on shit, right? And it was great. You just get you just get all up in it. And I mean, I would lose my voice every night because I'm just like guttural screaming. It was awesome.
That was freaking.
Well, then they come back around, right? And then you kind of still play dead, and then you get out of the cage, and then you start chasing them out.
That's
right. So this one chick, she didn't know, and I just started going, "Ah!" And I'm like, I don't know. That was a weird night in general. And this lady, she was like, oh my God, I just peed. Homegirl actually peed. And I was like, oh no. Oh, my bad. And I just turned around and went back in the cage. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh no. I mean, it was all on her clothes too. I was like, oh, you're going to have to ride home like that. I felt so bad. But like, then you knew you did your job.
Yeah.
But I think my haunt hunter finally came in because this was a night like I was off the chain. I was yelling at everybody because they were touching stuff. I'm like, stop touching stuff. He finally came through and he was like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, it's great. But are you good? You good?
Absolutely.
You good in here? And I'm like, I'm fine. He was like, are you sure? You want some chocolate? You need Snickers? You good? I'm like, I'm okay. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm fine. Promise.
Dude, if you have not experienced Nightmares Gate, I'm anybody watching this, you need to go experience it. The setups, I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know what you guys are changing, what you're not changing, or whatever the case may be. But when you go inside, first of all, when you pull up, it looks like a creepy, like, it looks like something like in Six Flags or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like set up. It's like, man, this looks really good. It looks clean. You got the music playing. The lights are on. Then when the characters come out, I was like, oh, yeah, this is it right here. The night I met Elena, it was raining. So I didn't think, I didn't know how they were going to do it. Then when I saw you out, it was like something out of a movie. I saw it in slow motion. I was like, all right, it's raining. The black light's hitting there. And then you see this creepy looking ghost, demonic figure, like under this light with the rain hitting you. I was like, this right here is freaking, this is it.
That costume is so heavy when it's wet.
I can imagine.
That wedding dress is thick.
It was cold and rainy that night.
It was actually really cold that I think I spent a lot of time inside in the gift shop too, because I was like, it got to the point where like you couldn't go outside anymore because it was just
people in the gift shop.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. You come out. Don't you come out one of the houses?
So when I first come out in general, because you have to go through the makeup room, you come out through the front, or you can come out through the side door. But we normally walk out the front door because for me, if you walk out that front, everybody sees you. So you kind of get a scope of the lay of the land, like who's at what house, kind of where to go scare people because you have some good scare parts there. And I try not to interfere with all of the other actors outside too. Like we have Pumpy who's outside. He's she's the one on stilts.
The guy with the big head. The one that was walking around like the
that's actually Dr. Draven, but his name became Big Head because everybody said, Big Head, come on over here, Big Head. I need to get a picture of Big Head. That's Big Head. We call him Big Head. Shout out Big Head.
Shout out to Big Head, man.
I hope you're watching this. I hope you're watching this because that is your new name. He loves it and he hates it at the same time. I'm like, you literally just need it's Big Head.
Hey, y'all remember my face, so when I come back this season, I want y'all to literally scare the shit out of me. I want y'all to give it to me. Alayna, give him a signal or something. I want you to be like, hey, it's my homeboy.
You should see when my mom comes to the haunt. My mom was my favorite person to scare because when I still worked inside the haunt, Dustin was kind of like the beginning. Then we had Kat used to be inside too, and then we had Cody. Cody used to be in the middle, so it was Dustin in the front, Cody in the middle, me at the end. That was like the trifecta. That's how we liked it, so we kept it. We always had it that way. It was awesome. But when my mom would come, I used to be like, "Hey, y'all, my mom's coming out." Everybody knows who my mom is. It's the little 4'11" lady, long black hair. She looks like Fran Drescher, talks like Fran Dresser. Marianne.
Shout out to Marianne.
Shout out to Mom.
Hopefully I'll meet you soon.
So my mom and my dad Matt, he would come out and with her, and he's from Louisiana, so very big culture clash as far as my mom and my stepdad. It's so funny. So like he's from Louisiana, my mom's from Brooklyn. So like he would be walking through the haunt with her, and she was walking so slow. Like she loves haunted houses. She loves being scared. She loves scary stuff. She doesn't like being in the haunted house. She hates it. So the whole time she's in there, she's looking for me. She goes, "Where's my daughter? I know she's in here. I know it. I just know the little shit is in here. She's gonna scare me. I don't trust her. I don't trust her." So my friends would know. So then they would like trap her in places. And my big friend Danny, he used to be like, "Marianne!" And we would just trap her in corners. And she goes, "I hate you. I hate all of you. I just hate you so much. You're doing such a good job, but you're a bad monster. You're bad." So like that's literally all you hear the whole night. And then like she finally came to my room and she was like, "You're an asshole." Like the whole she's like, "You're such an asshole."
She know you said it.
Yeah. So straight up, and she was like, "I knew what you did. You told everybody to go after me. I just know it." And then there's my stepdad, Marianne, you gotta come on. Come on now. You dragging the line. Marianne. So like that's the whole time, and everybody's cracking up. They're like, "This is like the best time ever."
It's
so
like a legit reality TV show.
Dude, I like got in so much trouble. I didn't get in trouble, but I did get in trouble.
Yeah.
They were embarrassed, I think, more than anything. Like, I don't think disappointed, but embarrassed. So, like, they had a church talent show when I was a kid, and I was really involved in the youth ministry, and they did, like, a talent show to raise money for a boomerang. So the youth kids, we used to put on a show for the younger kids, and it was, like, showing them how to do a Bible lesson.
Correct.
So the talent show was literally, like, somebody singing, somebody doing this. We do, like, a skit. Well, I did a skit. It was my parents. I thought that would be the funniest stand-up thing in the whole world. Like, I literally did a whole thing about my parents. And you remember the scene in My Cousin Vinny with the hunting the deer?
Yes.
That happened in my house in real life.
Really?
Yeah, whole on real life. So my stepdad's getting dressed for, like, hunting, right? He's in the full gear. He's like, "Oh, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to get me a big deer. We going to eat good, blah, blah, blah." So, like, he puts on his hunting gear, right? And he's just, like, standing there. He's like, "Marianne, how do I look?" "How do you look? What do you mean, how do you look? You're going to go kill Bambi. Have you seen Bambi? That's the most traumatic film ever. They killed his mother. His poor mother. She just got killed. She just, bam, right outside, dead.
What's it even doing?
Dead. She just died. She died outside. That's tragic." He goes, "You going to come with me one day, I promise. You going to get out there." She goes, "Yeah, and I'm going to be in the stand going, 'Run, little deer, run. Run away. Run the other way, dear.'" And then he was like, "But seriously, though, how do I look?" "I hate you so much. And when you come home, you're cleaning it yourself. I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching it. You're cleaning it. You're cooking it yourself. That's disgusting. And I hate you." So I did that upstage, right? And there's my parents in the front like, "Did she really just do this in public?" And I was like, I did. Everybody's like cracking up laughing. So I'm thinking I'm doing a great job. I'm like 14. It was a great job. Don't get me wrong. But they were so embarrassed. I was like, "Oh, my bad."
You're so diverse. I mean, you're very comedic also. You have a hell of a personality.
It's the autism.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So you're funny as hell. You also could transform into like a scary character. Have you always had some type of passion for acting?
So you know what's funny is like, I think I feel like I'm shy in most aspects. Like if the person I'm talking to is not interested in anything that I like, I get very like, I don't know what to do. So I try and reel it like, hey, I'll go fishing and there's nothing, then I just can't do it. But I think I used to watch a lot of movies and my brothers were 12 years older than me. So when I was at home, it was like, oh, like I watched all of these movies. I watched Tommy Boy's, Adam Sandler's, because they were at that age. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I used to watch all of the cool 90s slapstick comics. So like that was the era I grew up in. So I was watching like Black Sheep. Like Black Sheep was one of my favorite movies. So
that's when he said kill white.
Yeah. Dude, you remember the scene when he's falling and he's just like, no, little Root. Yeah. No. I was literally at my daycare holding onto a slide saying, no, little Root. No. And my daycare teacher, Miss Amy, she was like, you know, your kid's kind of weird. Like, she was like, your kid's funny. Like, she's still my friend on Facebook to this day, Miss Amy. Like, she was great. She was awesome. But at my pre-K graduation, no shit, I loved drag queens when I was a kid. And my mom let me watch Tu Wong Fu, like back in the day when I was not supposed to, like really young. Really? You know, the Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo. Yeah. It's that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think everybody needs to watch it. Yeah. Very good life lessons in that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Detrimental. You need to watch it. A lot of good political issues in there. Watch that. There's really not. You just really need to watch it. So like I literally stood at my pre-K graduation and everybody's like, what do you want to be when you get older? And everybody's like a doctor, a cowboy. I go, a drag queen. In front of God and everybody in this room. My mom wanted to die. My uncle tells this story to his name, my Uncle Albert. He goes, you know, that was the funny shit. He goes, I thought your mom was going to crawl in a hole. He said, that was the funniest shit I'd done ever seen in my life. And then I go, oh, and a doctor. And I was like, my mom goes, why? Like, why? Can't you just like the one time, like one day? I always thought being funny, like my grandpa was really funny too. Like my grandpa Joe, he was very comedic. Grandpa Isaac.
So you grew up with a bunch of personalities?
Oh my God. My mom is hysterical. Like she was in the army, used to get in trouble all the time for being like a jokester. Like she used to have to tell jokes. You're
so diverse. See, I've seen you scare people. I've seen you do the Russian accent, which is freaking epic. And then you do the Italian accent. So you're very diverse. So
it's really hard working in healthcare sometimes because I feel like when people talk to me in a certain accent, I have to do it back. And I don't know what part of my brain does that. It's all the time. It's really complicated. And I had a British patient I had to schedule and they were like, oh, that's going to be so tough getting there so early, darling. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to worry about the traffic, you know, and getting in the hospital and, you know, making sure the valet is going to get your car, you know. And I'm just like, why did I do that? Now I have to like be British for the rest of this time. Like I really got to pull this out my ass. Like,
oh my God, where are you from?
I can't be like Liverpool, you know. I can't be like I'm from around the way, you know, just around the way, darling, with the bacon boys,
Would you like some biscuits?
I don't know why. I just thought that was like my friend at work. She's like, why do you have to do this? I'm like, I can't help it, man. Yeah, I can't help it.
You gotta say, can I have some biscuits?
Can I have some biscuits and tea? Would you like a crumpet? You want a crumpet with your tea? A little bit of butter. Do you need a bowl of water? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Man, she's killing me, man.
British accents are top tier, man. Like, I think everything is more interesting in a British accent. Like, why not?
Anything is cool. Anything is fascinating. So, my old shout out to Sean Thompson, good friend of mine. He is legit from England. And he still has
British people.
He moved from England when he was like 5 years old. He still has his strong accent for it. I'm like, man, you've been in Georgia your entire life. That hasn't rubbed off on you yet? He said, oh, no way. No way.
No way.
You should hear how he talks to me. It's.
I would just be like
that's what
I would just be so infatuated with talking with people.
There, he gets stoned and he sits there and talks to me.
Oh, that's even better,
and
dude.
He talks and I'm sitting there just looking at him like, that is.
No shit. I've never met a British stoner in my entire life.
Oh, man. Oof.
What?
I have.
I need to meet this friend. Oh, yeah. I want to meet your friend.
He's a, you know what? Speaking of him, I'm probably going to see if him and his band can play at the.
And he's in a band?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Very talented. Plays piano.
What kind of band?
Man, he's been in so many different bands. They changed the names. I'll figure out which one he has. What's their name now? But I am going to talk to them about coming to perform for the Fearless screening.
Be there. Be square.
moving on, because we're sitting here doing our thing, man. We're just having a conversation. So we collabed on Slap's Dead Time Stories, which kind of opened the door for what we're doing next, as far as Fearless. How do you feel, and are you looking forward to doing your first scene?
So you know what's funny is like when the first time you asked me to do this, I had never thought of myself as an actress, actor, whatever you want to say. I don't really know the technical there. I'm like, you're acting, whatever. It's an actor, actor. I don't care. Yeah. I was like, no, I don't do that. And Dustin was like, you literally work outside of a haunt every night. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I think I could do it. He goes, I know you can. I'm like, no, I can't. He was like, no, seriously, I think you'll be fine.
Shout out to Dustin, man. Dustin is...
He literally is just, he's one of those people, like, if it weren't for my husband, like, I don't know how far I would make it into this, genre of stuff that I'm doing in my life. Cause he literally was like, no, you should try it. Cause he's always like, you have all of these ideas. Why not just try them? And then I just do it. Like just this jacket. Like I was just like, yeah, I have this idea, this random fabric and put it here. And he's like, okay, we'll just do it. And I did. And he's just like, see, and 9 people already want to buy this. So like, he's just like, just do it.
Shout out to Dustin, man. I like that, man.
This portion of the film, I'm really excited about because I have a little bit bigger of of an aspect in the film. Like, granted, I'm in there a short period of time, like Beetlejuice, but that's the best part. It's the best part. I'm just kidding. No, like, I pop up and, like, I'm just so excited. I like being angry sometimes, not all the time. It's
always good to raise a little hell.
Yeah, it's hard to get there though. Like I have to be in the right mindset. So I'm going to have to think like real hard. Like at the haunt, you're already like, you're rushing. So you're in the zone. So you're already thinking about it. And you're like, some nights it's off. Some nights you have an off night because not all of your scares are great. You have 3 people who are like, you're not scary. Oh, you're not pretty. Like, fuck off. Like, whatever. I don't care. Like I'm having a good time. You just ruined my day. Thank you. I know I'm not scary sometimes. I'm not supposed to be. Then you just got to be funny. Then you got to roll with it. But it's going to be great. You just got to be angry, and then you're in the zone. So, so
we're not going to spoil it because we want you guys to see it. But the guy in this film, I think a lot of you are going to want to see him get dealt with the way.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
His character's going to deal with.
He's a bit of a douche.
He's a bit of a douche, eh?
Bit of a douchebag.
Yeah.
You just want to kill him off, mate. He's a bit of a tosser.
Shout out to Alayna Morales. She's so damn talented. Good God. I think that's why we hit it off so much. It's almost like me and Elena. Like it's almost like I see her like a little sister in a way.
Gemini brains, man.
Like cousin. Like we just vibe. We just have a good time.
That's really hard to find in people when you meet him. Because he was like, how do you know if it's not going to be awkward or not when we film, when we go? I was like, I don't know. He just seems like a cool dude. His wife seems nice. I was like, I think it'll be a good time. It'll be fine.
Chill. Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm a super chill dude. Sometimes you reach out to people, they're like, no.
Like, yeah.
And I fully expect people to do that research on you.
Yeah.
Do your research. I'm harmless.
I was at that stage though, like I was like, I'm just gonna stop saying no. I was looking for something. It was meant to be because when you messaged me, I was finally like, I'm gonna stop saying no. I'm gonna start getting back out on social media again because I just took that big hiatus. Yes. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no. I need to quit being afraid.
Yes.
And then you hit me up and I was Dustin, go see what happens when you're not afraid. See what happens. And
that's something important for anybody that's watching this, dude. Collab with people, man. Get to meet people, do projects together.
Support your friends.
Support each other.
Share your friends' work.
She's exactly that too.
Please share your friends' work. They work hard, man. The least you can do is hit the share button.
Yeah, the least you could do. But she's opened up another potential door for me as well. A big project that I plan on doing something very special for. And you just never know what people, man. You never know the type of doors that can open or the type boundaries that you can create together. Like what me and Alayna are going to be doing. And I just can't thank you enough, man, for teaming up with me.
It's going to be so much fun.
Give me the opportunity, trusting me to work with me, and we're going to do special things, man. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I just want you to give me the first thought that comes to your head. This should be fun.
All right. Oh, God. I'm scared. I'm frightened.
Bear with me. So here we go. The South.
Got that honky tonk, but donk. Keeping perfect rhythm, make you want to swing along. I don't know why that came to mind. I have not a clue. That was like, oh, okay, why not? I don't know. It hit. I don't know.
That's what I want. All right. So here we go. Nursing. That's it right there.
I'm allergic to Dilaudid, acetaminophen, hydrocodone. The most I can have is like heroin at best. Like heroin at best. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, I bet. That's what life is like in healthcare. Life is like in healthcare.
All right. So, horror.
Damn, I have too many. That's the problem. That's too many. It's just like going and going and going and going. I'm like, damn. Oh, Red Mom. Red Mom.
Classic.
Dustin hates when I do that.
All right.
Donnie.
Yeah, that's it.
Donnie.
That's it. Dustin.
Squeesh. That's my squeesh. I don't know. He's like the only person that I'm like that with because I really hate PDA. I think it's disgusting. But I don't care. I don't know. Something about him's just warm. It's like a warm hug. Coming home and like, you made your crock pot meal and you get to come home and it's just like a gift. Yeah. So that's what's like. Coming home to a crock pot meal.
It's important.
That's a weird like way to describe that, but like it's like a present to yourself. It's like perfectly wrapped. It's hot food right there. It's coming home.
So many people are missing out on that in life, man, because they don't have that.
It's really hard to find, man.
True.
These streets are rough. Streets is bad.
Yeah. When you find that person, man, your other half, and we're not, I think that's so fascinating how you and him worked the haunted house together. Because I got a picture with Dustin. I got a picture with you that night too. And I'm very respectful of haunted houses, man. I love it. I appreciate it. I really.
And we appreciate you for being respectful.
I'm a fan. Yeah. I'm a fan of just the whole thing. So when I found out that was your husband, I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome, dude.
You know what's weird is like when I first applied, I thought it was just going to be like a me thing. I didn't know. Like I knew because we'd been together. We'd already started living together. We'd been together almost 2 years at that point.
Okay.
And I was like, just come with me. I'm like really nervous. And it was a party we got invited to. And he was like, you know what? I think I'll try it out. I was like, I've never done this. I don't know. We might suck. And I remember the first night doing makeup. It was the first night there. He was like, hey, babe. And I'm like, I'm in the zone. I'm like freaking out. I'm like shaking. And he's just like, hey, babe. I'm like, what? He goes, you're doing it. And I was like, holy shit, you're right. And I was like, okay, now go away. I love you so much, but go away. Like, I can't. Now you just made me even more nervous. He was like, no, but you're doing it. You're doing it. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Shout out to Dustin, man. Support your woman. So not just that.
Support your people.
Yeah, support your people, man. Especially if it's someone that you care for and you love. Support them, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes that little bit of, hey, you got this.
Yeah.
That means more to people than
you don't think like in that moment when like people say, hey, you got this, you already you're on your 15th reason for the day. You're like, my shirt has got stuck on every doorknob I have gone by. Like I am on the 15th reason today. And that little bit of just like, hey, I'm really proud of you. It's like that one scene in The Mask. They love me. Yeah. They really love me. Yeah.
I got one more for you. This is the last question right here. Pertaining to the first thing that comes to your head. Alayna.
Wild, crazy, weird. Different. Just spontaneous, I think.
I got one for you too.
Okay.
You're very passionate.
Yeah.
Very passionate about what you do. And that's what makes me honored to have you as a friend because you're passionate about what you do and your energy radiates off of it. You know what I mean? I really respect that. And you're going to be something special.
I hope so.
I'm honored to just be in your corner, just be here to support you.
I claim that into existence, man. I'm going to manifest that. We're going to manifest.
That's how you do it. Affirmations, manifestations, man, you got to go out here and you just got to believe it. You got to say it. And if you do that, if you truly believe, you put the work in, man, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. And people don't think that you claiming things into existence, that's witchcraft. No, it's really not. Because when you pray on stuff, you praying that into existence. You manifest in that.
Yep.
You manifest what you want. You pray on it. You focus, you meditate in it, you keep working, and you just start. Are you going to get no's along the way? Yeah. Are you going to fail? Probably. Is it going to suck once or twice? Yeah, but you're going to keep going.
Keep going.
You're going to make it. Promise. I promise. So, like, when you got into going to all of, like, the haunted places and stuff, what was your, like, passion for that? Like, where did you find like, oh yeah, I'm gonna walk into this haunted place and hopefully not take a spirit home? Like, you're not afraid of bringing a spirit home?
Like when I go to the haunted attractions or like the actual like
the haunted locations. Like, you're not ever afraid of like bringing something home with you?
No, that's probably my biggest thing. You know, I've had experiences in that world before, so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really scare easy. I see things and I become more intrigued. I try not to invite any dark energy I try not to play with things that opens up. I try to do evil things or whatnot like that. But then again, what exactly is evil in this world?
Yeah. People.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that can smile on your face could be evil. And I think that sometimes spirits can do that too. A spirit can come out as good, and then it could be something dark. But I have different things that I do, different techniques. I have things that I wear. If anybody ever notices, when I do the Atlanta's Most Haunted Location shows, I always have like something protecting my head. Because I believe that the easiest way for a spirit to get into you or to entrap itself with you or follow you is through the mind and through the head.
Yeah.
So I always try to wear some cap because I believe that it blocks it off or whatnot. And I always wear like a crystal bracelet, different things. A lot of times people don't see it, but it's always little different things that I do and I wear and stuff like that to kind of help protect me. And every time after I leave, I say this out loud. You're not allowed to follow me.
Yeah.
You stay here. You're not allowed to follow me wherever I go, home, car, wherever the case may be. So I have different things that I do or whatnot to try to protect me.
Have you like thought about doing like, I don't know if this is real. I mean, people do it all the time, but Zach Baggins, like you got to spend the night there in the basement in like the Satanic Circle. Like, would you ever do that?
Probably.
I'm not going with you.
Probably.
I'm just letting you know. Hard no.
I think that would probably be a little too much for me right there.
Yeah, that's too much.
That would probably be a little. Yeah.
He got Dr. Kevorkian his van in there. He got the Dybbuk box. I don't know, man.
I've heard so many different things about him, and he's a very odd guy. I
hate his voice.
But he's very...
today, I'm going to go in this haunted house.
He gives me like WCW vibes.
Yeah, I'm like straight up like, can you smell what Zach Baggins is cooking? Like, it's shit. Yeah.
It's like, this is a character off of WWE.
He's so weird. Dustin and I hate... Like, we literally will just talk like him sometimes just because it's so stupid. And then I went in. Yeah.
Ghost.
Now, his museum might be legit, though.
Dude, I've heard a buddy of mine went to...
I saw a video, and it actually seemed a little like...
The Peggy the doll, they said people have, like, went into cardiac arrest when they went in. They tell you not to look at the doll's eyes. See, I do believe in stuff like that. I do believe in, like, hey...
Yeah.
Stuff can attach itself to different things, like spirits. Well, I'm careful about when I bring certain things to, like, what I'm doing, like, haunted, Atlanta's Most Haunted Locations. I'm careful when I bring, like, if I were to bring, like, my dolls and stuff like that to the scene, I'm careful.
Yeah.
Like, this shit can...
You gonna pray on that some holy water later.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And it turned into a freaking Annabelle 5.
You know what? Annabelle was one of my favorite horror films, actually. I really like that. When the devil was within the freaking laundry room, I was like,
yeah. Yeah. Annabelle.
That one gave me anxiety.
The guy at this last horror convention, I met the guy that played the demon.
Really?
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, dude.
Wow. Character actors are awesome, man.
You see him, you're like, you're that guy from there?
Yo, Doug Jones, who plays all of like the horror characters and like Hellboy and stuff, that is the nicest man you will ever meet in your entire life. He's just like somebody's uncle. Like he's just chilling, having a great time. I'm like, damn, you actually do some weird shit.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Like everybody's like, I'm really big right now on the Terrifier series.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Art Clown and all that, man.
I got to interview him once. He's actually so nice. He's so sweet.
They do freaking amazing, dude. They have truly turned something into gold.
You know, and that's the thing with us too. You know what? They started as a YouTube short. Yeah, they started out as a YouTube.
That's right. Yeah.
And no one knows that. They started as a YouTube, then it was a short, then it was Trick or Treat, then it was the Terrifier. And it was on Tubi, I think, at best.
Yeah, it was free. I remember it
was free.
I remember it being free for years.
I think I finally, one day, we were bored. We watched it during COVID. We were bored. It was like 2020.
Yeah.
And I was like, we haven't watched this yet. Let's hit it up.
One was on Netflix.
When they started sawing that lady down the middle, man.
I remember my cousin, shout out to Cosplay Shinobi, my cousin Krypt. I remember him telling me, he's like, cuz, you got to watch this movie. And I was like, what's it called, man? Because I'm like, man, it
looked cheesy when you first saw it, yeah.
Man, it's about this clown and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, dude, all right, send me the name of it. He's like, well, watch Terrifier 2. He's like, Terrifier. And I was like, well, Terrifier 2 is on TV. Is it going to ruin it if I miss Terrifier 1? He said, no, just watch 2.
Yeah.
You'll want to watch 1. And I was like, okay. I've been putting this movie in the beginning of Terrifier 2. When he's freaking destroying this dude and writes art and the glass window.
Wild.
I was like, what the hell? And then I was just intrigued. It was like a slow.
This Terrifier last 3, one? We watched it right after we met for our read-through.
Dude.
And when she starts... Sis, they could have left that out, honestly. They could have left that out.
I never almost broke, like, I say break, and I mean, when I say break, I mean, like, throw up. That scene almost made me legit, like, throw up. I remember it was loud.
It was rough.
The sound effects. And
that was rough.
Like, Art's destroying this guy, and she's sitting there just doing her thing, whatever. And I'll never forget, I had this popcorn, and all of a sudden, I started getting this warm feel. I started getting hot and sweaty. And I was like, dude, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And then, like, when the stuff, like, then I was like, my cousin was laughing at me because I was like, he's like, are you going to freaking throw up? I was like, bro, that was the most gross, disgusting thing.
I loved the bathroom scene, though, in the college. I think that was my favorite kill scene.
Oh, yeah.
When they started sawing him, I was like, yo, that's wild. That was actually, I think, my favorite kill in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, so many good kills, man. Shout out to you, that whole.
Like, you wouldn't think that people would kill people in front of people's family, but they went real ruthless in this one. Dude.
Even the kid,
that kid's gonna need some therapy.
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah.
I was like, when he had the freaking, what was that, axe?
Yeah.
Kid, like he just whacking him.
That's...
God, this is freaking dark.
They actually, I think they're just, at this point, just trying to, what else can I do?
What else
can I possibly do?
You know, they're talking about doing a terrifying haunted house at Universal Studios.
I'd go.
I'd go. I've been going every year, so if that,
I want to leave stained with blood. I want to literally be stained with blood.
That would be freaking insane. Shout out to the whole crew, writers, directors, everybody is terrifying. Alayna, tell the people your social media, man. How can people find you?
I'm JukeboxBaby78 on Instagram and TikTok. On Facebook, I'm just Alayna Marie. That's where you see most of my personal stuff, more of my family stuff. But Instagram, TikTok is where I create. So if you want to see more creations, you follow me there.
Y'all make sure y'all follow her, man. She's super cool. DM her. Tell her that you saw this show. Tell her how cool she is. Tell her how funny she is. And you will be seeing us again. We're going to do this again after we shoot Fearless.
All right.
And then you guys better come check us out at the screening and whatnot as well. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Shout out to my dog, Elena. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Krypt-It Konvos. This has been a fun episode. Lots of laughs, lots of good times. You guys will see us soon. Fearless is coming. Hold on to your butts.